Energy crisis in Europe is turning out to be a great revenue churner for Joe Biden-led US. It's now exporting LNG worth billions of dollars to EU. Also, Biden is actively enticing crisis-ridden corporations of Europe into shifting their operations to the US. A crisis that is wreaking havoc on Europe is actually a great business opportunity for Biden. So to ensure that this lucrative business regime remains afloat, the shameless Biden administration has carrying out crippling attacks on Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines. Hi and welcome to TFI Global. I'm your host Atul Mishra. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the share button and press the bell icon to get all the latest updates. If you're watching us on Facebook, do like the page and subscribe to the page. You can also download our video app. The link is in the description section. Let's begin. The most significant and watershed moment that will decide the future of Ukraine war and Europe has occurred. Putin just a few days ago blamed the energy crisis of Europe solely on Europe in a press conference following the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting in Uzbekistan. He also emphasized that Russia will fulfill its energy commitments. Putin said, "The bottom line is, if you have an urge, if it's so hard for you, just lift the sanctions on Nord Stream 2, which is 55 billion cubic meters of gas per year. Just push the button and everything will get going." It was a clear message for Europe that all its crises can be put to end if it allies with Russia again and stop being a third wheel to USA's foreign policy. After staying 7 days in YT jail, we are back. We don't know if they'll allow us to stay peacefully. We don't know when the next ban will be announced. And that's why you must download the TFI app. Apple users can simply go to the App Store, search for TFI Global and install the app. And since Google Play has banned us, Android users can download the app from the link in the description. We are in for a long haul, and only your support can help us fight this war. It was a glimmer of hope for Europe in the darkness of economic crisis that looms on the entire continent. Putin, realizing it, extended the offer of peace to subvert the upcoming tragedy. Alas, the hopes of Europe have been dashed. Initial reports indicate that methane bubbles are rising from the water near the Danish island of Bornholm. The police and navy have reportedly already established a 5-mile restricted zone, and aviation travel below 1,000 meters has already been prohibited, according to the operator firm of Nord Stream 2. Possibly the Baltic Sea pipeline of Nord Stream 2, which was never put online, appears to have been rendered non-operational at this point. An accident on the pipeline was confirmed by a spokesman for the Danish Maritime Authority. The leak was initially noticed on Monday night. The gas network operator Gascade's representative verified that the sensors detected a significant drop in pressure in the pipeline and raised the alert. The operators of Nord Stream 2 claim that the pressure decreased from 105 bar to only 7 bar. Shortly after a leak on the neighboring Nord Stream 2 project was detected, Sweden's Maritime Authority said that it had issued a warning of 2 leaks on the Russian-owned Nord Stream 1 pipeline in Swedish and Danish waters. A representative for the Swedish Maritime Administration told Reuters there are 2 leaks on Nord Stream 1, one in Swedish economic zone and one in Danish economic zone. They are very near to each other. According to the spokesman, it was not immediately clear what had caused the leaks. The Tages spill reports suggest that targeted attacks may have harmed the Nord Stream pipelines. The newspaper quotes an insider who is involved in the assessment by the federal government and federal authorities. According to the report, the insider claimed that everything speaks against a coincidence. Our imagination no longer produces a scenario that is not targeted attack. It is stated that carrying out such an attack or act of sabotage requires special forces or even the assistance of a submarine. EU and NATO both have accepted that a coincidence is unlikely and a sabotage has happened. EU bloc's foreign policy chief Josep Borrell said, "All available informations indicate those leaks are the result of a deliberate act. Before any sort of inquiry is conducted, Western media will undoubtedly promote the idea that Russia is responsible for this sabotage." The reason is absolutely illogical, given that Russia has no motivation to destroy the infrastructure that it spent billions on and that it fully controls. It also gave Russia leverage over Europe to normalize the relations. So who stands to gain the most from such a catastrophe? The amount of gas that US sends to Europe has more than doubled since this time last year. This graph will make it clearer. US has minted money in billions of dollars by selling its LNG to Europe on skyrocketing spot prices. What other alternatives does Europe have apart from Russia and the US? A few which are not very reliable enough. For example, the Dutch government said on Monday that gas output in the Groningen field, a key source of natural gas for Europe, will be limited to 2.8 billion cubic meters in the year beginning October 1st, down from 4.5 billion cubic meter in the present year. Furthermore, in February, Joe Biden himself had declared that he will put an end to Nord Stream 2. And just a few days before, according to Flight Radar 24 data, US Navy Sikorsky MH-60R Seahawk helicopter spent hours hovering above the vicinity of the ruptured natural gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea near Bornholm on September 1, 2, and 3. Therefore, the so-called accident that looks like a carefully planned act of war immensely benefits the US. It becomes increasingly clear that the Biden administration has ulterior motives, including the instigation and fueling of conflict between Russia and Ukraine, as well as the subjugation of Europe. It has regularly persuaded Europe to send weapons to Ukraine and has itself sent tons of weapons to the war-ravaged country, along with hefty financial aid. US was the only nation that forced Germany to halt the certification of Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Prior to this leak, only regulatory block was preventing the flow through the pipeline. It was done by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz at USA's behest. Germany was increasingly looking desperate to resume the pipelines as it faces the threat of deindustrialization, recession, and harsh winters. Had that happened, the course of the Ukraine war would have changed and Europe would have relieved itself of its miseries. Now the US can heave a sigh of relief as both the pipelines have been severely damaged.